Hi guys, and welcome to HADO Arena Coventry and our explanation of what exactly HADO League is. So, League and Cup are the two standard formats that HADO is competed in. League Cup tend to be your big tournaments, like for us, the Spring Cup, Summer Cup, UK Championships, going to the European Championships, the World Cup. It's all your fairly standard group stages through to knockout stages. Yeah, all fairly standard. So, League. League's a little bit different. So league is when we want to really start challenging and pushing our teams. So where a normal HADO match is 80 seconds, sometimes play best of three, so you could play a couple of 80-second rounds, and that's your competition with the opposing team. In league, we have 7 games, not 2, and you play all of them. It's not a best of. So we've got a very different format style to it. The games are a lot longer, they're more involved, but every one of these rounds has a different set of rules associated to it. So you get some really interesting gameplay, you get some fantastic variety and the way the teams have to work, you get some nice shifts in tactics, and it's a lot more enjoyable to watch over that extended period. So, to give you guys an idea of how it functions, I'm going to try and keep this relatively short and sweet. League functions as a set of 7 games for a match. Each game has a 100-second recovery between it. So 7 rounds of 80 seconds, 6 lots of 100-second recoveries. We're looking at about 21 minutes for a match, assuming there's no overtimes in there. So match 1 is a standard 3 versus 3 HADO game. No problems at all there. Played as per the sport in any other format. 80 seconds on the clock. Use your stats as you choose. Winner takes all. Now, game 2. Game 2 is where we get the first of these varieties. And this is called the Scale 1 game. So kind of explain what we're talking about there. Right, so each player has got a set of stats, and it's these stats that control your interaction between the teams. So it's not your physical size, it's not your physical strength that affect how things play, it's these stats. And that's part of what makes HADO such a open and inclusive sport, is it's the stats that control these things, not you. So your size, your strength, they don't matter, so you don't need to have gender categories, don't need to have age categories. Anyone can play anybody if they choose to do so. Now, our 4 stats here. First one, bullet speed. That's how fast the energy blast travels. It doesn't matter how much force you put into it, it only goes as fast as this stat. Second one, scale. That's the size of the shot. The bigger the shot is, obviously, the easier it is to hit your target, the harder it is to get out of the way of. So there's a lot of benefits there. Third one, charge speed. To fire energy blasts, you need energy, and energy is a consumed resource. So each time you fire a shot, it uses up part of your energy charge. To build that energy charge back up again, you need to charge, and this stat controls how rapidly that charge builds up. Final one, shields. Shields here is both the individual number of shields you have, and this is the number of shields used in the match. So at shields 1, you have one shield to use in the entire match. Shields 5, you have 5 shields to use in the match. But it's also their individual strength. So a strength 1 shield stops a couple of shots before it collapses. Strength 5 shield, I think it's about a dozen shots before it collapses. So 5 12-shot shields or 1 2-shot shield. It's a big variation as you go through. These all, you get 1 point in everything for free, so you get everything at level 1 free, and it tops out at level 5. But you only have 6 points to split between these stats for each player. So therefore, you can't be good at everything. You've got to split and shift your stats. Now, normally, that first game, free reign about where you put them. Game 2, however, this scale 1 game, you cannot spend points in scale. And scale 1 means your shots are all going to be about the size of a ping pong ball. So this round is all about accuracy. But obviously, you can put, therefore, extra points into speed, charge rate, or shields, because you can't spend them in scale, but you've still got them. So we get some nice big shifts in the way things work. Game 3, 2-on-2 normal. So again, spend your points however you like, but now it's 2-on-2 rather than 3-on-3. And the tactics changed with the number of players on the pitch. So we get, again, real nice change in the way this game works. Game 4, back to a 3-on-3 and a restriction. This is Shield 8. That means, go back to our stats page, obviously, all 3 of our players have got 1 point in shield for free. So you've got 3 points in shield. You have to have a minimum of 8 points in shield for this game. So that could be that one person has taken, say, 5 points, has gone to rank 5 shields, another's gone to rank 2, and one of you stayed on rank 1. It could be split them across the team. It's totally up to you how you've done that. It's just that the minimum your shield level can total to across all 3 players is 8. You can have 12 points of shields if you want, doesn't matter, you just can't have less than 8 for this round. Obviously, because you know you're going to get shield play, you may well want to have at least one player dedicated with a high charge rate, which is very good for taking down shields, put a lot of shots into them, breaking it through them. Obviously, you've got a bit of, for the first time, you've really got an idea of what the team's going to do. Now, shields can both be used to block, for, say, firing points. They can be used to counter the shields by putting them face to face against them, so counter shielding to render it just into a solid wall. They can also be used to close off cross shot routes to protect your blind side, rather than necessarily stopping direct shots. So there's a lot of different ways we can use them. We see some very interesting play here from the teams and how they choose to apply them. Game 5, 1v1. Really big shift up in tactics here for how you play 1v1, but you're free to spend your stats however you like. We tend to see low charge rates here and high shot size and high shot speed, but there really is no guaranteed rule to how the players are going to choose to approach this. Game 6, back to our restrictions again. This is the status 20 game. So what does that mean? Obviously, each player, as we know from here, has 6 points to spend. So across your 3 players, you have 18 points to spend. Okay, so far, hopefully. Each player obviously starts with 4 points spent. So there's 4 level 1s that you get for free. So effectively, you've got 4 level 1s for free and 6 points, so 10 points per player. In status 20, your total status points, your total ability points, cannot total more than 20. They can total less. Why you do that, I'm not sure, but they can't total more, which is the key point here. So if each player's already got level 1 everything, so 4 points spent. So across your team of 3 players, you have 12 points pre-spent before you do anything. You can only total 20. So of your 6 points per player, 18 points total that you get to spend as your bonus points to spend in, you can only spend 8 of them. So there must be 10 unspent bonus points for your team. And obviously now this can be split. This is really, really tactical. Do you boost a single player? Do you spread them across your team? Which player do you boost? Can you effectively kind of trick the other team into thinking that you've boosted one player, in fact, you've boosted another, so they focus on the wrong person. And the person who's attracting their attention knows that fundamentally all they've got to do is dodge, stay out of the way of shots, try and surrender as few points as possible, whilst the player that's actually got the stats is racking up points for their team, and obviously see how long it takes the other team to realise that you've done this. So lots and lots of different tricks, tactics, ideas for how this round plays. Then back to our 7th round. 7th round, back to this 3 versus 3, standard stats again, all good. Now, so we've got 7 games to a match. Each one of those games that you win earns your team 1 point. If you win the majority of games in the match, you earn a bonus point. So if you clean sweeped, you get 8 points. Otherwise, assuming that it's fairly even, if it was 4 games to one team, 3 games to the other, for example, then the team with four games will get their 4 points for their games and the bonus points, so earn 5 points towards their team score, and the other team would earn 3 points towards their team score. Team score is relevant because league is played as a round robin pool. So league is played with 4 teams in the same league. And they all play each other on the same day as a round robin. So there will be a total of 6 league matches played within a specified league of 4 teams. Obviously, each team playing three of these matches. So three sets of 7 games across the day. It takes about 3 hours to play a full tournament through. And obviously, you're earning points for your total team score as you go match on match. And at the end of it, we're looking at those total team scores added together to see where those teams lie. Should there be a point where 2 teams have got exactly the same number of points earned, at that point, we then look at the total points scored across all 21 of their games. And it's the team that scored the most points that would win, effectively, that tie-break situation. Should there still be a tie there, which is statistically pretty unlikely, then we look at the team that basically had the least points scored against them, so gave away the least points to the opposition. Pretty much, I don't think we really need to go far beyond that because we're into such statistical unlikelihood that we don't need to worry about it too much. Now, obviously, in this games we have restrictions, and these restrictions are quite important. So the 100-second marker between games, this is important. If for any reason, outside of there being a technical issue, in technology, there's always going to be some technical issues somewhere down the line, no matter how good our tech is. But outside of any kind of technical issue, at 100 seconds, the game starts. If you are not ready, if a player has not logged themselves into the system, they're not finished setting their stats, whatever reason they weren't ready when it started, tough. They're either playing with their stats down because they've logged in but not done it correctly, or you may be down a player for that entire game because they haven't logged themselves in. And if that's the case, tough. You knew you had 100 seconds, you had to be ready within that time frame. Second one, we have games with restrictions on them here in terms of where you have to use your points, where you can and can't do with them, how many you have to spend or how many you have to left unspent. If for any reason you do not comply with the game's requirements, for example, you're in the status 20 round and you've spent 21 points, not 20 across your team, should that occur, your team automatically forfeits that game and that game point goes to the opposing team. Irrespective of the outcome. Now, it could be that it's spotted straight away and the game's stopped. It could be that that it isn't actually spotted until the game stats come up at the end, and we realise that actually Team A there spent 21 points, Team B has spent 20 points in the States 20 game. So even though Team A won, they now haven't actually won. They default, they forfeit the game, and this game goes to the other team because it didn't comply with the rules. So there's a bit more pressure, a bit more push on you. So you've got these fast-paced matches one after another. You've got very limited time frame to get everything sorted in, turn around in between the games, and you've got to get it right. So there's more pressure on the teams, a lot more about physical fitness, and a lot of tactics and shift as you shift game to game, as well as knowing what you know about the opposing teams. Each round of league will be played with multiple leagues playing effectively on the same day, just at different categories within the tournament structure. The bottom ranked team in each league will have to defend itself from the top ranked team from the league below. So at the end of each round of National League tournaments, there is a promotion relegation match that takes place. Promotion relegation matches are always played as best of 3. Standard HADO, no restrictions on your points, best of 3 in order to take that. So you play best of 3, so it's not a case of luck. Because an 80-second match, someone could have bad luck in a game, and effectively a superior team gets knocked down. I'll play best of 3, and it pretty much takes that luck factor out of there, and now it's about the better team is going to win. So what we have then is the capacity then for each round of league for a team to be able to advance upper rank or potentially get, obviously therefore get knocked down a rank. And the shifts basically which leagues you're playing in, which cup matches you may be in, and also whether you're eligible for selection for international play. Because only players who are in teams in the Masters League, in the current Masters division, I believe it's going to be renamed those very soon to the Premiership. Only those teams in the very top rank, top flight of our competition in the UK. Only the players from those are eligible for international play. So would that be England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland international play? Would that be European, or would that be going out to the World Cup? So if you want to be in that top flight, you want a chance to represent HADO England or HADO UK tournament, you've got to be in that top flight. Working your way up through the league system is not the quickest and most efficient ways to get your team up into that up to that level and potentially pick to play internationally. So hopefully, guys, that explains how league works. 7-game format, 80 seconds between each game, specific rules set on each one. Okay, go watch the matches. Enjoy. Thank you very much.